Locked in my room, 4 black walls, tied the noose, no recall, no result, fuck withdraw, rather shoot up till I fall. Murder on call with the 5-9, 20 years and it seemed like a lifetime. I've been hanging every day from a lifeline. Why these fuckers hit a dinner every night?
But like in that moment, like if you were to paint me a picture, like what were some of the things going through your head, leaving that, tearing your meniscus, and then getting in that fight? Like what were some of the thoughts going into your head?
I think when all that stuff was happening, you're just like, it can't get any worse. You know, broke my hand in my previous fight, tore my ligaments and tendons in the thumb of the opposite hand, and prep for a different fight that I had to pull out of. And then in prep for this one, when we're talking about 13 months, no income. I'm just, you know, anything that can happen will happen. And so I would say I was down, but I would not say I was feeling sorry for myself. It was more just kind of like a Eeyore, you know, Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, you know, like the rain cloud that kind of follows you everywhere. It's like I've come into full acceptance that this is the way it's got to be. But at the same time, the inner fighter in me is, fuck that, we're gonna go.
Because you know you can win.
Oh yeah.
What was something after that kind of got you to pick your feet back up and just keep going and keep pushing?
I think the thing that got me back up after that fight is more about the mindset aspect, that grit. The fact that I was able to go all 3 rounds, the fact that it had felt like I was in a car crash after that fight, and I knew that I could do that against one of the most elite guys in the world who's going to be future world champ, and I could do that with essentially no training. That just give me a camp, just give me a healthy body, and I can do anything.
These are really good answers. What's something that you're trying to progressively move forward now that your career has shifted? What are some of the things that you're trying to do now moving forward in your career?
Yeah, for me, moving forward is essential. It's always about evolution. We have to keep going forward. And a guy I really respect told me that your skills don't perish, they just diminish if you don't use them. So, of course, I'm not fighting like I used to, but I still train. So you have to be able to maintain. And I'm instructing others, which is good. And so that's enhancing community. That's one big thing that I'm working on is building a community around me. Competitive shooting is another big thing. It's given me, it's kind of like my golf, we call it bullet golf. It's given me something that has function toward me still being able to protect myself and my family and other innocent people around me. And like people like to think that they'll never grow old, or if they do, almost like a cognitive dissonance, that they're not going to become more vulnerable. But I can honestly say that, like, I'm fine with that. Like, I can see that in me when you used to function at a super high level in anything, and now you can't. You're becoming more vulnerable. So I still try to train. I still try to maintain. I still try to be a little bit smarter with how I train, since my body isn't going to be able to hold up like it used to. I had 9 orthopedic surgeries, a bunch of injuries and fractures that didn't require surgery. Banged up. So I have to be a little bit more methodical, a little bit more intelligent about what I do. And being able to still work with professional fighters and be able to continue to grow from a knowledge standpoint, being able to pursue something that, like competitive shooting, is still being able to help me and provide some function towards self-defense And like I said, the community, the growth, being able to give to other people is a huge component and part of who I am and what I'm doing today.
I find that to be a constant in the combatives or the military communities. Anybody who's been through real strife, struggle, and fight has an inert desire to trade those memories or those life experiences to help people through theirs. You know, just a knowledge that we're not the only ones in the fight.
That's right. I'd say that it gives me purpose. Like I was talking about with the mindset, it has a component of resiliency, but then another component of conviction. And when I'm done fighting as far as a career, not done fighting, and I had still have a really good community down at American Top Team headquarters. But when you're in the room with those guys every day, every guy, high level, high functioning individual, and then I move back here, I'm building a community from the ground up. And I'm not gonna be around necessarily guys or girls with that same degree of motivation or that same purpose, that same goal, that same end state that I had. So I have to be able to, one, like motivate and embolden these people who are coming to train with me, but I also have to help push them toward whatever their why is. Not my why, but whatever theirs is. So it's been pretty humbling having to put myself in other people's shoes and think like how they think. Like, what's your why? Why are you doing this? And remembering that people don't always like what I like. And I can try to make them like what I like, but for their purpose.
Yeah, it's humbling. It's humbling for even us to sit in front of you, a man of your caliber, and you share your truth. So thank you. Yeah, big time. This is the last one he's got on there. What's the best way for anyone to embrace and develop what it means to be hard to kill?
I think if anybody wants to be hard to kill, you've got to pursue mindset and skill set. What kind of skills? We need to go for shooting, fighting. Don't forget the fitness component. You got to be able to move things. You got to be able to move people. You got to be able to move yourself. You got to be able to run towards something. You got to be able to run from something. Maybe pursue a medical component, communications. You got to be able to hunt for food. You got to be able to grow food. You got to be able to have some source of water. So it goes deeper than just the aggro stuff that we think about when it comes to hard to kill. And I'll say again, resourcefulness. That's another part of being hard to kill. Whatever your craft, whatever your skill set, you got to be able to share that with others. And continue with mindset. And I will say this, I think that the mindset and skill set are like yin and yang, and they can be compartmentalized for the pursuit of enhancing one of them, but they are support elements of one another. So in me trying to harden my mindset, that should drive me toward procuring skill set. The skill sets that I'm procuring and trying to maintain or enhance, they should promote my mindset. They should promote resiliency. They should support that conviction that I talked about and going toward what my end state is.
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things from the outside looking in that is your hard to kill is community. I think it's legacy and looking at it, how much time you put into your community, the facility you offer your community, the fight equity that you offer the community. I think that's what makes you even stronger. Just knowing you and meeting you for the last 10 minutes, you're very vested in what you're doing and what you're providing for others. And just right off the bat mentioning, my students will never know what it's like to kick a budget now. It just shows your priorities to people. So it's neat to be around and hear where it came from in your life and Yeah, it's really, it's an honor to hear your answers to that stuff. It's heavy.
And I'll say this too. I always wanted to have a place, and this goes for whether I'm teaching a combatives class or whether I'm teaching a martial arts class. I wanted one mat that has like a soccer mom or a guy that wants to be an amateur fighter. He doesn't want to go any further than that. He might be 40 years old, just wants to fight one time and just to say I did it. You might have guys that want to be pro fighters or guys that want to be world champions. I want to have one mat that can have all of those people on it, and they're all going to be getting something from it. Because to me, kind of going to the skill set portion, which is comprised of your ability, but also has a knowledge component to it, I think that they should all be getting a very high technical degree of proficiency from the instructor to the student. And that level of technical knowledge should not be reserved for just people who want to do what I used to do, or those who are just part of a high-level special operations community. They should all be able to be on the same mat or the same cage or whatever, getting A1, Tier 1, high level of knowledge, and they should be able to have technical proficiency and use that for whatever their why is.
That was great. I'll ask one more question in a few words. Like, what's the best representation of who Cole Miller is?
I think if somebody asks who's Cole Miller, he is a fighter. He has an extraordinary amount of resilience, but also good perseverance. He's not just going to take it, he's going to keep going forward. And I think that people would say that I care, I'm compassionate, and I'm here for my people.
But it's perfect.
In my room, 4 black walls, tied the noose, no recall, no result. Fuck withdraw, rather shoot up till I fall. Murder on call with the 5-9. 20 years and it seemed like a lifetime. I've been hanging every day from a lifeline. Why these fucking sailor dinner?